Hi, this is Kara. Welcome to Breaking Free Fridays, or welcome back if you've been following the series. Today, I was just guided to share about the concept of beating ourselves up. It's pretty common. It's something that a lot of us get in the habit of doing, and sometimes it gets so entrenched in a pattern or a habit that we have that we don't even sometimes realize when we're doing it. But one of the things that I think is particularly important to shine some light on is how we actually might be beating ourselves up in the context of our transformation journey, our process of self-development and awakening and healing. Sometimes it's easy to get into a mindset of thinking that we should have gotten to a place further along than we are, or we might be toying with thoughts of beating ourselves up around setbacks that we might have in our process. And one of the things that I think is so important and freeing to realize is that our empowerment and transformation journeys, they are just that. They are journeys. They are adventures. And it is not a straight line. There are curves and there are ups and there are downs. And our experience just as humans in general is really meant to support our growth and our expansion as souls. And as a result of that, we're going to experience amazing things. We're going to experience challenges. There's pain that happens in life. We've all gone through really challenging things, and it's one of those areas that can help us grow the most, actually, especially when we look back in hindsight. And so I wanted to just take a moment to remind you that it is absolutely normal to have setbacks in the process, in our journey, and to just give yourself some grace when you're still learning new tools. We're mastering new things all of the time. We're learning new things all of the time. We're getting stronger. We're getting more aware. Our consciousness is growing. We're healing on deeper levels. We are aligning stronger to our intuition. We are becoming more empowered. But this is all a process, and it's a journey, and there's not an end point. That's one of the things that's really beautiful about it, because we can always up level. And so I wanted to remind you of that. I remember early on in my journey that I tended to be really hard on myself, and I think it would have been a lot more empowering and freeing early in my journey if I had realized that, like, this is just part of it. It's normal, and to just be compassionate and have grace for ourselves in that journey, in that process. And also remember, it's about being really persistent, keeping up with your practices, recognizing your wins and celebrating those, focusing on those positives, the gifts, really paying attention to your energy and where that's going. It's so easy to fall back into a place of what's wrong with things. But there's also so many things that are right about our experience and what's going on and our learning and our growing. And so much of that is, flipping the script on our default view of things. And our practices, our meditation efforts, our movement practices, our emotional regulation practices, our healing practices, our spiritual practices, all of these things with time, they rewire us, and it gives us freedom and empowerment and an outlet to experience life in a different way. And one of the things to remember is when we're going through this journey, it's just like an analogy of, let's say somebody hadn't really been stretching and all of a sudden they wanted to do the splits. Well, if they go from a place of not ever stretching and they're trying to do the splits, it's not happening, or else they're going to really injure themselves in the process. And remember, kind of equate some of these practices in your empowerment and transformation process to training. You're building a skill, you're reinforcing, you're getting stronger, you're creating more resilience, akin to going from not stretching to being able to do the splits with great ease. It's a process, and just have grace for yourself in that. And I also I wanted to share another piece that was just really reaffirming and assuring to me, that I've uncovered in my own process, but I've also heard referenced by many other experts in the field. And that is that as we get stronger and we get further along in our process, there are still going to be challenges. It's just part and parcel of being human and growing. The difference is it gets easier, and and we don't go as deep into the abyss. The other thing that happens that's really interesting is, and hopefully I can describe this in a way that translates really well, but I've noticed that in my own experience, and in talking to other people, working with other people, the challenges that come, it's almost like in one moment previously in your experience, you may have spun out from a challenge that hits. And then as you get further along, it almost feels like magic, but you've been putting in the work. So it's really, you're able to show up differently. That same kind of challenge appears, and instead of spiraling out, you're actually able to see it from a totally different perspective. Like, you can identify the ways of celebrating that, oh my gosh, I handled it this way, or I was able to manage my emotions this way instead of tanking or getting triggered, or I was able to, there's just a total shift that can happen, and you'll see this. So be patient with yourself, because it will come. And it's so exciting when it does. And that momentum will just keep building on itself. So keep celebrating, honor yourself and your journey. There's divine timing in all of this. So the more you can surrender to in the faith of that, I find that so helpful too. And just before I close, I wanted to remind you of this incredible opportunity that I'm so excited to share with you. I have put together a free online retreat. It's 7 days, and it is chock full of these absolutely incredible experts around the world. And it's all designed to help you break free of what's been holding you back in business, love, and life. And it starts on February 5th. You can sign up. Just go to karapiercewhitney.com. That's KARAPIERCE Whitney, WHITNEY.com. And you can just put your name and email in, and I'll send you all the details in your inbox. But it is super profound. You'll have an incredible experience, mind-blowing takeaways, helping you with getting unstuck in all sorts of different areas, limiting beliefs, overwhelm, unresolved trauma. and lots of opportunities to grow in terms of alignment with your intuition, with getting clarity on purpose, feeling more confident in how you express yourself, and just so much more. So super excited to share that with you. And here's to another level of empowerment and breaking free. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.